Hey guys, Sarge here with the first episode of a new series on my channel. We're playing Hearts of Iron 4 with the Black Ice Historical Immersion mod. It is a pretty hefty overhaul. It definitely is a lot more difficult than the base game, but I'm looking forward to playing this. I've had quite a few practice runs, so I generally know what to do, which is just fine. And with this mod, it is definitely needed. You get a lot of research slots, but they're generally on focused. Some focused on a specific thing. And from my practice runs, air superiority with fighters, good tanks, focus on medium artillery instead of light artillery. You will need some Marines for the invasion of Norway. The naval invasions in this are a lot more demanding. With the mod has made it so you definitely need more specialized troops for it, is really what it is. So I'm just going to basically go through my usual starting stuff. And I'll just try and commentate as I go along. And surprisingly, so yeah, you do need a little bit of civs at the beginning. But what I wanted to show is this huge military factory bonus, plus 56%. If you don't take advantage of that early game, it will take you so much longer to build military factories in the late game, which is why I'm really focusing on just military factories with a few additional civs. They added a bunch of equipment, and they also make it so you don't have to make your own tanks or planes or ships. You can obviously still make your own, but I found that these work just fine. They do require specific techs, and I'll actually go through and show you guys everything here. A lot of additional. Amphibious warfare is important. Mountain warfare is a little bit. Not going to be fighting in mountains too much, but it is still pretty important to have. Of a few more, uh, only one more support company, and then you can have a lot of other stuff in your support companies. There's 3 different types of artillery, different types of anti-tank, different types of anti-air. Here's your tank techs with your light vehicles. There's the chassis research. You have to research the guns as well and the ammunition. Thankfully, as Germany, you start with all of this done. And then you have all of these. You also have all of this extra stuff over here, which is really useful. It'll allow you to get more units in your generals, and then more armies in your field marshals. So onto the production tab. We don't need medium bombers, as far as I'm aware. So we're not going to need medium bombers. We don't need any of those, but I'm just going to make it so they just go right into the Panzer, these ones. Just try and keep some production efficiency there. And it's probably not the most efficient, but I try and keep stuff organized the same way in each of my games, just for myself. One on mountain warfare is just fine. I wouldn't say we need mountain artillery. We definitely don't need light artillery. We will need all of these. We're not going to need armored cars. We will need trains, so I'm going to put there on trains. Infantry with anti-tank is really useful. I kind of have it just production be set up for eventually when I get to everything. That should be good for now. I will come into here and just grab one eventual factory for amphibious warfare equipment. Then we get to deal with all of these. I actually don't want any of these small submarines. They just don't have any range. I can get subs later. Gonna get these escorts out, and that is another thing they added. Well, they added some smaller surface vessels into the game as well. And I'm just gonna delete the rest of these and get them out of the way. Probably up to there is fine. So we are basically ready to at least start the game moving. Come on. There we go. Do what I want. And then naturally we're going to want these with 15-inch guns. Just going to scroll down here, give them their max dockyard allocation. And not many national focuses actually take the full 70 days. And you can also get more research slots through, they're called research centers. And everything you see here, apart from these top ones, give you a slot. These top ones will only give you one once you get each of the overall commands. So those are always useful. Oh, no, I just want to put them in Hashaflutter, Hashi Floaty, whatever the hell it's pronounced. Yeah, best way to do this is to get as much research and production capability as quick as possible. Alright, so we've got that one. Now I'm just going to grab this just because it is literally a 0 day. And then I'm going to go right into industry. And what I'm going to do with this guy is until we're done with these, he's just going to be researching the HQ services. Alright, time to start horribly organizing these divisions. Videos will probably be around 30 or so minutes. That's kind of where I like having them. Having having them all set up. Also, the training, I just remembered, training your Air Force and Navy is vital for them to be really usable in combat. They get really bad penalties for being rookies. Like, they don't get negative combat. Like, it isn't a negative modifier, but the modifiers you get from them being trained is really, really high. And so really all you need to do is just shift click pilot exercises. And they will start training, though I do realize that I don't really have fuel. So I really won't be using medium bombers that much, so I won't even be trying to train those guys. And I'm not even making any fuel right now anyway, due to the civilians taking up fuel as well. That is also something new. And we do get a lot of divisions. You have to turn it on in the settings, because the AI already doesn't really need it, but for this, this will basically spawn units on its own. There's also a lot of new perks for units, and as you can see here, the inner service HQ max army size is lower than what it will be eventually. And also, you just started with some really good generals as the Germans. Also, armor, you do not want to be pushing with infantry at all. If you can help it, do not push with infantry. I do have dockyards, so I don't need any convoys right now, so I'm just going to put them into submarines. I'm going to get August program. Oh, nope, wrong one. All your fleet is to be used for as Germany is to really just get your naval invasions off that you need. Once you're done with that, your navy is not really going to be a fighting force. It's more of a just gain naval supremacy force. So that's good. That should be good for now. Definitely need more uniforms, but that should be fine for now. That's fine. We're definitely gonna need a lot more medium artillery and more heavy artillery. Gonna need a lot of horse transport carts. Actually, I don't need cavalry equipment. And then you're gonna want a lot of tanks. The preparation phase is really important in Black Ice. And the reason I'm not playing like a different country is you really have to do a lot of practice runs. You'll find that you're doing a thing wrong in one of your runs and you're already 5 years into it and you just don't want to lose all your progress. So this has come from quite a lot of practice. For the most part, this one's useful. You can pretty much ignore the rest of the naval stuff, in my opinion. Oh yes, this is really useful too, because of those military factories. Gonna get the Panzer II in about a week. Quality control is done. consumer goods. Make sure we get more factories doing that. It looks like some stuff has moved around. They updated to buy blood alone. And I haven't really looked, I haven't opened this since they just updated it. But there was some pretty useful guys in here. Last I checked. He'll be useful, just not yet. They may have changed some of these around as well. Yeah, let's get industrial expert. And then let's go for Panzer IV. And then this is just as simple as you click the tank that you just got. If you have everything researched for it, you just click it. And then voila, pretty simple. This mod is definitely not for the faint of heart. It is a very difficult mod. But it is very satisfying when you win in the end. And I'll be playing this till we capitulate. I've had a previous game where I thought about quitting out, but I figured, I'll play it through. I ended up winning. I'd always wanted to play on my own end-seek scenario, and I got it, basically. Get the fighters, and immediately research the 109C. I played so long that the game wouldn't actually go any further in Black Ice. It was like 1956 or something. And it does look like that Black Ice didn't keep the impassable zones, which is definitely interesting. Let's go back up to 5 speed. It was kind of chugging along at the beginning with the auto saves. I guess I just went kind of was chugging it along was with the auto saves. There are a lot of pop-ups in this mod, and I apologize, but I cannot help it. It is not my fault, I swear. The templates in this, the ones you start with aren't terrible, but there certainly are a lot better ones that you could be using, and I will be using some of those. It's just I do have a kind of a picture of templates I should be using that I was sent by someone who understood, who played the mod before me. And the divisions that spawn in, they don't spawn in with full equipment or anything, so it's not like we're getting free equipment. We still have to give them all of the equipment, which is a nice balancing factor. And there is a really useful decision that I can do. I think it pops up in either July or August that gives me another research slot. Also, I need to keep looking up here is to see if it is there yet. At the beginning, you basically want to try and get as many of the research slots as you can. Okay, more dispersed industry. And then refrigeration is done. That will go into tool maintenance. About to get better medium artillery gun barrels. Where are these research? No, I'll just do heavy artillery barrels. Then I'll get Junkerschule Badtolls for another research slot. And there is the Spanish Civil War. So I am going to switch over to operational integrity. It is way more important to get air superiority than it is to do to have crap, I can't speak today. To have close air support, because it's useless if you don't have air superiority. And send them air volunteers. And with the change in how the air wings work in this game, it is, you can't, in Black Ice it's set in 50s, in base game it's set to 100s, and then you're basically locked into that. Definitely, probably was a good change. Junkerschule Badtolls. And we will get, expand the Opal Works. This one is useful because of the leader skill bonuses. And then I think there's like additional, there's offensive doctrines and then there's defensive doctrines. I think I've probably been doing attritional containment. Or is it prepared defense that I've been doing? Probably prepared defense. But right now we'll just get regimental doctrines. Still isn't popped up yet. I'll get a man, or the man person, people thingy. Preparation is also a lot more important in this than in the base game. And tanks are slower as well. They're not like slow, but they're not as fast as in the base game. Don't know why you'd ever get Hugo Boss, but he's there if you want it. I will go infantry. No, I'll go with the artillery designer. Getting the IC cost for the artillery is very useful. Oh, well, it wasn't in August. When do I get that option? Maybe I have to do another one of... I have to find out what the trigger is for it. Maybe it's Organization Tote? Definitely doesn't tell me what triggers it in here. Ooh, I think that's new to this update. I never noticed. Well, update for Black Ice that Improv Expert gives division attrition minus 15%. That is really good. I'm just trying to mop up the Bilbao area so the AI will move these divisions to more important areas. And I'm just going to make sure that these guys have a high priority. Yeah, whatever, British non-intervention agreement. No one listens to you anyway. I'm not gonna be the best at microing, but this mod has definitely gotten me a little bit better at it, because you can't battle plan your way to success in Black Ice. It's just not going to work. That's how I got into issues with my last run. Alright, we've secured the northern flank. Where should I head to next? I probably should be sending these guys guns, shouldn't I? Send 2,000 guns. Just to get myself a little bit extra army XP from the war. Actually, I should go over here and try and retake Zaragoza. Also, the ahead of time penalties are also pretty harsh. So make sure you don't rush your way through tech lines, which is nice. It's a nice challenge. It's not as easy as regular Hearts of Iron is. I need all of these eventually. It's just the issue of what is the best order to do them in. I'm gonna need tanks, so I'm just gonna go through here and get those amazing Doctrine bonuses as well. Looks like the Soviets have arrived with tanks. Okay, you kind of have to use NATO symbols in this. I don't mind it though. In a mod like Black Guys, it's just fine. In base game, I'll use regular symbols. This game does have. I do a lot of pausing. Probably more than what's really necessary. And I definitely am not a multiplayer player. At least competitive multiplayer. I'll play with my friends, but definitely wouldn't be one to play in those competitive multiplayer games. I would be way too slow. Just so I don't forget, I am going to grab Walter Funk. There we go, Achtung Panzer. Once this guy's done, I'll switch it over. There we go, we've retaken Zaragoza. That will be helpful to our Spanish allies. And as you can see from our army XP going up, they're already doing great use of our English. They're already making great use of our stuff, of our equipment. Alright, I am going to end this episode here, guys, so I will see you guys in the next one.